Hello, this is Lookman of jacksinspiration.com. Our mission and vision is to empower and inspire generations. You are viewing us on this YouTube channel, which is Lookman, and we have a Facebook presence. Our Facebook group is Empowerment, Inspiration and Support. We share videos on business ideas, on mindset issues, life experience, etc. The topic today, is it possible to monetize beggars? You know beggars, those who beg on the streets, etc. Okay, who is a beggar? I think there's a dictionary meaning which says they live by asking for money or food. You could prorate that into different things, apart from food, people might beg for other things. Are there different types of beggars? Probably yes. You might have them in the corporate sector and in the domestic sector. And there are some places where you can find the traditional beggars. You might find them on the street, in public places, in families, at the workplace you can find beggars as well. Over the internet you can find beggars, etc. What do you think? Is begging, do you consider it to be an occupation, a profession, a way of life, or an eventuality? Please share your thoughts and comments. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let's know what you think. Now ask yourself, could you ever be a beggar? Well, you may say never, 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 never. But they say never say never. If the tide of life changes, it could cause you to be a beggar. If your everything becomes nothing, it could cause you to be a beggar. If your situation changes, it could cause you to be a beggar. If life, like they say, if life happens, it could also cause you to be a beggar. If you become disabled, maybe you're involved in an accident or something like that, it might cause you to be a beggar. If there's a war in your country of residence, for example, it might cause you to be a beggar. So there are a lot of variations that could actually make one become a beggar. But I leave it as food for thought. Now, are beggars, do you consider them to be real or fake? Well, sometimes you have beggars with theatrics. Some of them, they come up as if they have no limbs. Some of them, have theatrics. They behave, in a sort of funny way and make you feel that, oh, these people have health problems. Some fake ill health. Some are really ill and are really genuine. But some have true life situations which are genuine. Some have fake life stories. They come with some fake story. They're good at those type of, that's their area of specialization. But what should be our attitude to beggars? Should we readily see them as real or fake? What are your thoughts? Please share them in the comments below and let's know what you think. Now, are beggars actually poorer than their givers? Those who are begging, those who you give money, are they richer than you, or are you actually richer than them? I did a bit of research just before this video, and I actually found that some beggars actually earn more than the givers. And of course, most of the beggars don't pay tax. They just collect money and they don't pay tax. I googled just yesterday or so. Some beggars in London actually earn up to £200 a day. £200. The average income of a Londoner who works is much less than that, but the beggars earn about £200 a day. Almost the same scenario in America, etc. So they do make a lot of money. Now you might want to ask the question, are beggars good strategists or are they just commoners? Well, in my opinion, I would say they are good strategists. Some of them position themselves strategically. They don't go to places where they won't make money. Some stay near banks, some near places of worship, some near train stations, some near cash machines, some near supermarkets, etc. Would you call it strategy? Yeah, strategizing, of course. That's where they make the most money. And also I noticed, I showed one of my children the other day, there was this beggar we saw near the supermarket. When we were going, I think he had 1 or 2 coins there, and as we left, we donated some money, maybe some coins, maybe up to £1 or something like that. And by the time we were coming back, we passed through the same route, and we noticed that all that was showing was just 2p. And I told my child that, you see, that's strategy. When he's making all the money, as he's getting much, he hides the bulk and displays the little, so that whoever is passing by will think, oh, this guy hasn't made them a lot of money, let me just give it to him. And of course, he starts piling his money and his empire. So they hide the bulk and then display the pennies. You might want to ask, what are the causes of begging? Well, I'm not going to tell you. I want you to share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think are the causes of begging? Do you know that in some countries it's actually illegal to beg? It is an illegal thing to beg. Ideally, I'm not sure what the punishment for it is, but it's actually illegal. In UK it's actually illegal, but you have beggars all over. Now, how can we monetize beggars? That's the crux of this video. Now, first and foremost, you might want to create a relationship. Maybe you might go to them, have a chat, maybe buy them some water or some snacks or something like that. Have a chat, create a relationship. And then, you can conduct a structured interview, making sure you're asking the right questions at the right times, watching the body language of the beggar, etc., so that you're able to get as much information as possible. If it's feasible, you might record the interview. Now, the interviews have to be individual and they have to be discreet. You don't want a situation whereby you are showing his face or her face and showing him all over the world. You might want to make this discreet. It could either be an audio or a video not showing their face. And of course, you may not mention the location, so you have to be discreet. You want to incentivize them as necessary. Obviously, in business, you spend money to earn money, isn't it? So you might want to incentivize them. For argument's sake, you might invite them for lunch, where you can have a chat. And if you like, you might tell them what your intentions are, to have a video about beggars, etc., and all that. Or if you like, you might just make it ordinary and you can just record the video or the audio and then do as you need to do. So, but you need to incentivize them. Now, what I would also suggest is that you get their life story. You want to discuss about their youth, their childhood, their youth, what got them into becoming beggars, etc., etc. You want to know the roots of their problems. For some people, they were somebody yesterday and suddenly due to life problems they become nobody. For some people, maybe they were in war-torn areas and there's been destruction of property, livelihoods and so on, and suddenly they've migrated to other countries, become refugees, and they've become nobody. So that's another issue. For some other people, maybe they've lost their livelihood and they don't want to go and start beating on the door, and maybe they were evicted, things like that. So different things can happen to different people. So on the one hand, for those who you think are genuine, you can actually, after the interview, or during the interview, you can signpost them to where they can get help, etc. Now, on getting the raw data, after the interview might last a few hours or so. You have to keep them engaged and you have to incentivize them well enough. Don't forget, they're losing money by coming to your interview and they're losing big money. So you have to be able to incentivize them properly. Now, once you've got the raw data, you need to articulate this into text, audio, or video. Now, like I've said, you have to keep them anonymous. If you're going to use a platform like maybe a blog, you might do a summary because people don't want to get too bogged down with what you're writing, with the long write-ups. So you might make it into 1 or 2 pages, or you might do it into an audio or video. like just like YouTube. Maybe if you have if your YouTube channel is something relating to beggars, etc., you can summarize, get out the juice from the interview and summarize that into a YouTube post or video post, etc. And like I've said, I always mention this: you have to keep them anonymous. That's the best way you get. That's the way you get the best out of them. So you might use platforms such as social media, blogs, or alternatives to get out your message. Now you have to make it concise as necessary. You don't go blabbing and saying what people are not necessarily interested in. Go straight to the point and put in your information. Now, one thing you might or might not know is that some of these beggars have remarkable stories. It's very easy for us to trivialize, oh, he's a beggar, he doesn't want to work, blah, blah, blah. Yes, there are some of them that might not be genuine. The other day I watched a video on YouTube or WhatsApp or wherever. They showed this beggar. On the surface you think he had no legs, but some people had actually been monitoring him. And when they got hold of him, they found out that he actually folded his legs on his body and was pretending to be lame, someone without legs, and so he got into trouble. The other day, some people shadowed some woman who pretended to be disabled, etc. They shadowed her, they videoed her movement and all that. She went into a car when it was late at night. When she went out, when she was going, she went in some robe which appeared to be very dirty, unpleasant, and very unfashionable. But by the time she was coming out of the bus, she was putting on a pair of jeans, some designer tops and all that. So some of them are fake, some of them are real. But your target is to get out the juice from their stories, whether real, whether fake, and you articulate this into content which people might actually benefit from. Some of them may have remarkable stories. Some stories would actually be unimaginable, because in life, life is so diverse. So sometimes you might think of X, Y, Z, and the real story might be ABC. You never know what their story is. Like I've said, some may be fake, some may be real. But if you do this content creation, on the one hand, it can inspire books of fiction, whereby you're writing a book of fiction, you can title it whatever you want. Maybe Beggars, how to monetize beggars, not all beggars are fake, or whatever title. Use a catchy phrase, use your SEO, your search engine optimization to look for a topic that will be very catchy and which will be good. Some might inspire films. Maybe, sometimes when you're doing the interviews, you might get ideas for films, or maybe, it might be part of the inspiration for a film or something like that. Basically, what you'll be doing by doing this content, you are creating value and sharing insights and pitfalls. For example, if somebody went along a particular route, for argument's sake, they didn't pay their rent, they were evicted, etc. Such insights, for other people who are able to pay their rent, for example, and not paying their rent, they know the consequences that could come thereof. So those are parts of the value that you're actually creating. People are going to learn from it, and this will impact on them. The work does not necessarily have to be just in English language. It can be in English language, it can be in other languages. It's up to you. But as long as you're able to communicate your content to your audience, that's what's paramount. So if you want, you can do it just in English language, and if you like, you can do it in different languages. You could also have a series, because you could be interviewing more than one beggar, you might be having different viewpoints, etc., etc. So if you like, you might have a series of maybe videos, or a series of books, or you can compile them into one. It's up to you, maybe the best ones. But that's another way of monetizing the beggar. I hope that you found this interesting. I have two more questions for you. Who is better, a beggar or a thief? That's question one. Please write your comments below. Second question, is a beggar a thief? please write your comments below, and let's share experiences and thoughts. Like you already probably know, it will be beneficial if you could please share and subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed, and press the notification button so that you can receive even more videos of this nature. My name is Jack Lookman, and our blog is jacksinspiration.com. As we do the videos, we also intend to do blogs on most of the topics, and hopefully ebooks and paperbacks. So whichever medium you prefer, maybe you prefer to read rather than to listen, etc., you have an option for you. Our aim is to empower and inspire generations. We do that by sharing ideas, business ideas, mindset issues, things about life experience. The overriding aim is to empower and inspire generations. This YouTube channel is called Jack Lookman, and we have a Facebook presence which is called Empowerment, Inspiration and Support. I hope you found this beneficial, and we look forward to you watching our other videos, and we also look forward to you visiting our blog, our website. Again, my name is Jack Lookman. Thank you.